Hi, welcome to another episode of Beyond Chronic Disease. My name's Wendy. I'm your host. How are you this week? The last few episodes have been about stress, and this is not going to be any different. I really want to embed this into the whole fiber of your mind and body because it is really detrimental to our well-being. We have so many diseases that are related to stress. And I'm going to share another one with you today. Like last week, it was really the starting point as to my realization that I could change this situation. I want to share with you something really instrumental today when I was writing my first book. And this is why I don't believe we have a stress problem because it's it really hit home when I was writing my book. So the stress problems we think we have are really speaking and thinking. So let me share this with you. I only share what really happens in my life, the way I perceive it, the way it lands on my body, the way I think about it afterwards, the way it, I don't know, just the way it just seems weird, okay? That's why I'm having trouble explaining it. It's a little bit weird how speech and thoughts affect our body, full stop. Anyway, enough waffle, enough, enough waffle, and I will share this story. So when I was writing my first book, this was probably the real awareness for me too. I had thought about this previously, but when I was writing my first book, it really came to the forefront of everything for me. I had three moments in my life, and this is in my first book, Whole Foods the Facts. Three moments that were really instrumental emotionally in my life. And then basically I woke up and I could barely walk because I was doubled over in pain. That's when I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease not long after that. So these thoughts, well, not thoughts, these emotional factors that happened in my life when I was reliving my journey of my first diagnosis with Crohn's and what was happening in my life. It was, it can, oh, so sorry. It, first of all, the pain started coming back into my body. It was like a phantom pain, I guess, because I was really involved in writing my story and thinking about it every day and, speaking really about it too, because I was writing my book and I'm reading it over and, talking and thinking about it so much in the time that I was writing that book. And I felt the pain come back into the part of my body where I was diagnosed with Crohn's, where it started. Now, when I was writing my book, also, these emotional triggers were really dire. I can't remember all of them now, but they are in my book, Whole Foods of Facts. But they were really, like, I know one of them was my dear grandmother passed away. But there was three of them, and they were so awakening, really. It was that moment that I realized as well how our thoughts can affect our body through our emotions. I know, weird, huh? No, it's true. Is it true for you? Look at a situation where you have got pain in your body or something keeps happening in your life, you keep having an accident or you keep tripping over something, like anything at all like that. And just be still and ask your body where it's coming from. Okay, I'll go into this. Recently, I had a moment, I think I talked last week about, uh, when about instruction and intention. So I had an instruction that that I had held on to. My intention was to release it, but clearly I hadn't completely done that. Okay, I'm talking in riddles. Okay. I had an event in my life that I had agreed to do something and then I couldn't do it. And I'm never that person. I always do it. I'll always find a way. But this particular time I couldn't. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't deal with this. This is horrible. And so I took all that on board. And then I had the realization from somebody that no, this is for the best, blah, blah, whatever we spoke about. And I'm like, yes, I know that. Yep, I realize that. And I always use the phrase, everything works out for me. Everything always works out for me, which it does. And so I'm like, yep, no, everything will always work out for me. And that was my intention to my body. Lo and behold, guess what? I started getting this pain in my side. This was very recent. And I'm going to be very vulnerable here and say, oh my gosh, I can't have this. I'm putting out a new book. I've got this pain come back. This is ridiculous. How is this happening? Early hours of the morning, I practiced what I preach. Put my hand on my body and no thought process. I asked my body where this is coming from. And straight away, the realization was back to that instruction. Even though my intention was well intentioned, the instruction that I'd initially given my body about how I don't do this, I don't go back on my word, this is horrible, that was still evident because it showed up in my body. So how did I release that? I really did come to terms with that. It would be okay. Everything would work out okay. It's not the end of the world. And immediately that pain disappeared. Now, I'm not saying this to say that, oh, yeah, you've got a pain and you just have to go, oh, yeah, what's that cause from? Oh, that'll disappear. It always work like that. It doesn't necessarily work like that. I am very in tune with my body. I have been doing this for years. It was 20 odd years ago that I was diagnosed with Crohn's. So I've had a lot of time to practice this. Okay. And yeah, sure, still things happen to me, but I am very aware after the fact how that happened or why that happened. I just wanted to share those stories with you just to show how powerful our body is. It really is. It takes on board everything. It doesn't just take on board chemicals. Well, our thoughts are a chemical reaction. Our emotions are a chemical reaction, I guess. Anyway, but it is our bodies are clever. And if they're that clever, just imagine what you could do when you have the power to manage stress in your mind and body. Not just manage it, but eliminate it. as I've done. Sure, it may come back every now and again, but I stop it in its tracks before it takes hold. Whereas before, I'd be a psychotic mess, but now no more. So if this resonates with you and you want to go further into this, I have a Mastering Stress course and another, I don't know, how to deal with stress language, PDF, workbook, all of that stuff just for you. It's all, the links will all be in the show notes. So I'll see you next week. Maybe we'll have a different episode on something else. Who knows what will show up for me? Okay, until next week, hope this helps. I'll see you then. Have a great week. Bye for now.